I transmigrated to a world of cultivation, but instead of a legendary sword, I got a rundown orphanage and a system. The deal was simple. Within a 50-meter radius of this place, I'm invincible. Outside, I'm just a regular guy. But the real cheat code? For every bit of progress my orphans make, I get a 100-fold increase in cultivation. So I became a director, an invincible dad raising future world beaters. My story began on a rainy day when a shivering little girl named Bai Zhaoao knocked on my door. She was a street beggar, but the system told me she had the legendary innate sword body, a talent seen once in 10,000 years. I took her in, fed her, and as I taught her to meditate, I felt a tidal wave of power surge through me. Her every small step was a giant leap for me. I wasn't just raising a child, I was forging the future sword Empress. Of course, a man taking in talented kids in a lawless city attracts the wrong kind of attention. Human traffickers and local thugs from the Zhao family saw my orphans not as children, but as commodities. They swaggered into my courtyard, ready to collect their prize. I didn't even get up from my rocking chair. The moment they crossed that 50-meter line, an invisible force slammed them to the ground. They came looking for profit and found a god. The name of the out-of-bounds orphanage began to spread like wildfire. Soon after, King Yu joined us. I found her locked in a box by traffickers, a quiet girl with a dark and powerful potential. She was the inheritor of the magic monk legacy, a path balancing the divine and the demonic. I wasn't just their master, I was their father. I cooked their meals, braided their hair, and told them stories of my world, a place without cultivation. I was building a family, a bond stronger than any heavenly Tao. The third to arrive was a girl named Xingwu. To the world, she was just another orphan. But in reality, she was the reincarnation of the Red Kite Empress, a supreme being who once ruled the heavens. She was proud and cold, annoyed at being raised by a mortal. But I treated her like any other kid. I made her do chores, eat her vegetables, and offered her a lap to rest on. This simple, mundane affection did what centuries of worship never could. It gave the Empress a home. She became our strategist, secretly vowing to protect her new master with all her might. Our quiet life couldn't last forever. As the orphanage's fame grew, it attracted the attention of the great sects. The saint of the Hawan Valley, Luciana, arrived. A woman of peerless beauty, she was used to men falling at her feet. She came to uncover my secrets, maybe even use me for dual cultivation. But she found a man completely unimpressed by her status. My bluntness and genuine care for the kids slowly broke down her icy walls. She went from being a spy to a frequent visitor, eventually becoming one of my closest allies, and, well, things got a little complicated. The scale of our world expanded when I had to intervene in the demon realm. A civil war had broken out, and some of my younger orphans were caught in the chaos. I didn't just send help. I moved the entire orphanage to the border. I faced the terrifying Wolf King, and with a single strike fueled by the combined power of my disciples, I ended the war. This was the day I established the Immortal Alliance, the first step towards galactic domination. But why stop at one continent? I decided to move the whole operation, orphanage and all, to the Immortal Realm. Imagine the shock when a rundown courtyard literally dropped into the middle of their sacred territory. The immortal kings and emperors who had ruled for millions of years looked down on us, until they couldn't. I met the 9 Nether Immortal King and the White Tiger Immortal King. Instead of bowing, I offered them jobs as security guards. After a brief, overwhelming demonstration of power, they accepted. My disciples were reaching the immortal stage at impossible speeds, and my enemies were quickly becoming my staff. It was around this time that the system sent me on a unique mission, a journey 10,000 years into the past. In this ancient era, I met a woman named Yu Qingru. For the first time, I fell in love without systems or power levels complicating things. We had a daughter, Yuling, but time is cruel, and I couldn't stay. I promised I would find her in the future, that our orphanage would be their eternal home. Returning to my own time, I carried the weight of 10 millennia. The world had changed, and soon, a young girl arrived from a future timeline. It was Yuling, my daughter, come to find her father. This reunion added a new urgency to everything. I discovered my true enemy was the Lord of the Heavenly Tao Palace, a being who wanted to turn all life into puppets of fate. The Heavenly Tao War began. My daughters, now full-fledged empresses, led armies against the heavens. Bai Zhaoxu's sword split the sky. Xingwu's imperial pressure crushed legions, and I stood at the center, the invincible anchor of our new reality. But even the heavens weren't the limit. We encountered threats from beyond our universe, from galactic empires that viewed worlds like ours as farms. The stakes kept getting higher, and the universe itself began to decay, heading towards an event called the End. To stop it, I had to merge my soul with the world itself, becoming a colossal planet-spanning tree. For years, I watched over my daughters from my wooden throne as they became true protectors of the cosmos. When I finally regained my human form, I had transcended cultivation. I was the source of the laws themselves. But the final battle was the most heartbreaking. The Lord of the End, the personification of the universal reset, was tied to my youngest and quietest daughter, Xuantian. To save reality, the ancient laws demanded her sacrifice. The entire universe begged me to do it, but I looked at the child in my arms and made my choice. If I have to sacrifice a child to save the world, I declared, then the world isn't worth saving. In a final multi-dimensional battle, I fought not just a being, but a concept. Using the collective power of all my empresses, my wives, and my own invincible authority, I rewrote the rules of existence. I slew the concept of destruction itself, forever separating it from Xuantian. In the end, we returned to where it all began. I was back in my rocking chair, in the courtyard. The empresses I raised were all around me, living their lives. My love from the past, Yu Qingru, sat by my side, finally reunited across time. Then a knock on the gate. A small, dirty, hesitant girl stood there, just like all those years ago. She looked up at me. "Director," she whispered. I smiled, picked up my youngest daughter, and walked to the gate. I reached out my hand. "Welcome home." The story of the mass-produced empresses was over, but the story of our family was just beginning. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to follow for more epic tales.